Welcome everybody, this is the first video in our series for our yo-yo design task. You can see on this Adobe Illustrator page, I've brought in some images that show some existing products of other designs that have already been created. And you can see here an Adobe Illustrator file that can be used to be laser cut and create a yo-yo similar to these examples. Today I'm going to show you how to create your own Adobe Illustrator file and how to use some of the introduction tools to be able to make your laser cutting file of your own. At the end of this video we have a short activity where you will follow along on how to create these shapes using these tools. Okay, so to create a new file in Adobe Illustrator, we go File, New. If you're needing to install Adobe Illustrator, please follow the prompts on the class page. We always need to tell Illustrator what our final product will be. In our case, it's going to be a print file, printed on the laser cutter. We're going to go to View All Presets and select A3. And then we type in our file. So this is yo-yo, and this is our first file. Change our units to millimeters and the orientation of our artboard, and then say Create. You can see here the different files come up along the top. So the first thing I'm going to show you is some basic tools, and then we're going to have a go at this exercise. For the basic tools, I want you to first go to the Curvature tool. The Curvature tool works by clicking around in a series of points using your left mouse button and finishing off to close the path. It's important we have a closed shape when we're cutting on the laser cutter. These two arrows we have are the Selection tool and the Direct Selection tool. The Selection tool is used for clicking and dragging whole shapes. If you hold down Alt, you can click and drag a copy. The Direct Selection tool allows you to edit the individual features of a shape. So please have a go at that. Now, the next main tools I'd like you to have a go at is the Rectangle tool. Have a go at drawing a couple of these. If you hold down that left mouse button, you can click and drag into other shapes. Have a go at drawing some different ellipses. Holding down the Shift button will give you a circle, as will holding down the Shift button when you're in the Rectangle tool give you a square. The Star tool is what we use to create a triangle. If you type in 3 points, you'll get a triangle. You can change the points to change the type of star you get. Over here, if we're going to select the star, we can see the properties of this star. So 102 refers to the location of that star on our artboard. I've just moved it to 150 millimeters from the corner, or I could move it to 250 millimeters in the X-axis. If I wanted to move it up, I could change the Y-axis, and up or down 300 millimeters takes us off the page because our A3 artboard is less than that, and I can move it up as well. If I change the width and the height of the star, you can see the proportions change. If I was to change the width and height and keep the lock, then the proportions will change together. So my star has the same proportions as it did when it was smaller. Alternatively, I could hold the Shift button and drag with less accuracy. You can see the numbers or the sizes moving along. The last tool, which is really helpful, the line tool. Clicking once, you can get an exact dimension, and if you highlight that with the black arrow, it will tell you where it sits on the page. So you could move that across, or you could move it down, and you could change the width, make it longer. You could also change the angle. The important thing when using the line tool, however, is to make sure that your next line is going to connect to the anchor point to create a closed shape. And finally, I'm going to show you how to use this tool. It's called the Shape Builder tool. It allows you to join shapes together. So let's say I'm creating a shape which is a composite of shapes. If I use the black arrow, select my Shape Builder tool and draw a line through the center of each of those shapes. Deselect off here, and now I have these shapes combined as one composite shape. So for our exercises now, I'm going to ask you to copy these shapes. The first one is using the Curvature tool to make this jelly bean kind of shape. The next one is making the jelly bean shape again, but double clicking at the anchor points to create sharp edges. The next tool asks you to draw a line using these dimensions and this angle, 40 and 0. And the next one is creating a square using the rectangle tool, which is 40 millimeters. Then we're going to create a circle using the ellipse tool, again with a width of 40. We could lock that, or we could type both width and height. And three-pointed star, good. Click and drag. Using the black arrow, select, change the properties, keep this locked, change your width to 60 and your angle to 0 and say OK. Okay, let's have a go at those.